I'm sorry I'm not with you today, but I'm going to teach our lesson here on a video for you. So this is module 20.2, so lesson 2 in module 20, and it talks about categorizing quadrilaterals. So what we're doing here, our I can statement, is I can identify whether a shape belongs in a group by the number of sides, the number of angles, the sides that are equal lengths, parallel sides, and in some cases we're going to start identifying them based on their names, so like square, rectangle, octagon, and their attributes, different characteristics, maybe like their color or how big they look. So we're pretty much just sorting shapes today. That is our goal, okay? Now I want you to go ahead, after you watch this video, I encourage you to check out the Online Manipulatives website that we use, because there are lots of different ways that you can sort shapes using these online pattern blocks, okay? And there's a section called tangrams, and those are also fun ways to make other figures out of shapes. You just drag and drop them in here. So definitely check that out if you have some free time today. But our first problem in our book, this is in your book if you want to follow along with me, on page, let's see, this is on page 515, page 515. So on page 515 in your book, you're going to see these same problems as me, okay? I'm writing it right here, and you can follow along with this video. So this first problem says, Sydney is using a computer programming game to draw a quadrilateral that has at least one pair of parallel sides. So what I would ask you to do, if I were sitting with you, would be to draw what you think is a quadrilateral with at least one pair of parallel sides. Now, go ahead as you're watching this and practice drawing a couple different shapes that are quadrilaterals, which means they have four sides, and that have at least one pair of parallel lines, which means the lines look like a train track, okay? They're opposite of each other, and they keep going in a direction that never will cross. So take your time. You can pause this video while you draw your quadrilaterals. Some answers that I would expect you to probably draw would be something like a square. This has four sides and at least one set of parallel sides. You could draw a rectangle. You could even draw a rhombus or a parallelogram. All of these shapes have at least four sides, and they have one set of parallel lines. Some of them have two sets of parallel lines, but they have at least that one set, okay? Now, which of these shapes here, you'll see this in the bottom of your book, actually show one pair of parallel sides, or at least one pair? So take a look. If you look at shape A, I see four sides here, but do you see any lines that are parallel? Either like this, or like this, or like this, like this, that aren't going to run into each other? No, I don't see any that are parallel, okay? Good job. Now, what about B, shape B? Do you see any shapes here in this trapezoid that might be parallel? Think about that. If you do, I want you to choose B. Now, the top and the bottom line are parallel in shape B. So this should be your answer here, okay? If you look at shape C, you'll see that it's kind of just a reflection of A, and there aren't any parallel lines. All right. Go ahead and turn your page to page 516. This is where we're going to start sorting. So this problem says to place the quadrilaterals into the correct categories. Some shapes may belong to more than one category. So the first one that we're doing, we're sorting by quadrilaterals. So take a look. Which of these are quadrilaterals? Is it A, E, and I? Do those all have 4 sides and 4 angles? Is it B, F, and H? Or are all of these shapes quadrilaterals? Remember, to be one, it has to have 4 sides and 4 angles. If you check out all of these shapes, friends, you'll see that all of them do have 4 sides, so they're all quadrilaterals. Okay? The next question asks, which of the shapes are rhombuses? Rhombuses. Now, if you look up here, to be a rhombus, we have to have 4 sides that are all equal in length, but also 2 pairs of parallel sides. So, A right here has 4 sides that are equal in length with 2 sets of parallel sides. F also has that. Each side length is the same, and there's a parallel side set on the top and bottom, and the left and right. And so does H and I. Both of those have the same requirements. So your answer for which one are rhombuses should be A, F, H, and I. Now, feel free to pause me in this video so that I'm not just giving you the answers. But before I say the answer, you can pause and try to work it out and then check your work. The next part says parallelograms. It wants to know which of these shapes are parallelograms. Well, to be a parallelogram, we have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides. Okay? So the shapes in here that have parallel sides, I want you to go ahead and circle. Pause the video while you circle. And the answer you should have got here is shapes A, B, E, F, H, and I. If you look at these shapes, they each have 2 sets of parallel sides, their tops and their bottoms. Okay? Now the last one asks which of these are trapezoids. So let's look back up. All that makes a trapezoid is 1 pair of parallel sides, not 2, just 1, okay? I can tell that shape C only has 1 pair of parallel sides because look, the top and the bottom are parallel, but these sides are not. They would cross into each other. So C is a trapezoid. D is also a trapezoid because it looks just like C. It's the same shape. And last but not least, G is your other trapezoid because it has 1 pair of parallel sides, not 2, just 1. So for here, you should choose C, D, and G. Okay? Now, rectangles are the very last shape you're looking for. Okay? We define a rectangle by having 4 sides with just 1 pair of parallel sides. 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides. They have to be equal length too, those opposite sides. So if you're looking for rectangles here, you know that A could be stretched into a rectangle. E is already a rectangle, and so is I. Okay, I is a square that can be stretched. These have 4 sides, and their opposite sides are parallel and equal. Okay? So go back through and pause that if you need to so you can kind of rework and test your knowledge. But that was kind of a quick rundown of those problems and answers to help you go through it. Now, turn your page. It's the next one you're looking at to page 517. And on this page, there's 3 shapes. A square, a trapezoid, and a shape that looks like a V. We're going to put a check mark in your books. You circle what word describes each shape. And there's going to be lots of words to describe each one. So go ahead and take some time to do this and pause the video. Circle the words that describe your shapes. Once you've done this, unpause me and I'm going to give you the answers. Okay, this square right here, we know it's a square because that's its most common name, right? Now, to be a parallelogram, it needs 2 sets of parallel sides. It has that, so it's a parallelogram. Quadrilaterals have 4 sides, and that has 4 sides. Rectangles have 2 sets of sides that are equal in length and parallel, so it's a rectangle. A rhombus is a shape that has all equal side lengths and 4 of those sides, and they're parallel. So that's true. And then to be a trapezoid is a quadrilateral that has just one pair of parallel sides. So I wouldn't say this is a trapezoid here, right, friends? Because there's more than one pair of parallel sides. Now for this shape, this is an authentic trapezoid, okay? This one pair on the left and right is your pair of parallel sides. Now, could that be considered a parallelogram? No, there's not 2 pairs of parallel sides. A quadrilateral, it has 4 sides, so I would say yes. We know this can't be a rectangle or a rhombus or a square because it doesn't look anything like those, right? So there is that. Now the last shape, right here, it looks like a V. We know that this is a quadrilateral, first and foremost, because it has 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I don't see any that are parallel. None are opposite or equal. None of them are all the same exact size. And it's definitely not the look of a trapezoid or a square. So this one, friends, is simply a quadrilateral, okay? Now, that's the end of our actual lesson. In your book, you have 3 check understanding problems. They say to circle the words that describe this shape, and it gives you exactly what you need to do here, okay? If you look in your book, under check understanding, oops, there we go. So go ahead and do that after you watch the video, and we will be going over that during our lesson together, okay? Good job today, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.